So Justin Thomas, he's one of the best players in the world, hands down. But he did go through a stage where he was struggling with his putting, and he contacted a putting coach by the name of John Graham, and they went through a few things that he was struggling. Now, often with putting, people go down the technical route. Where is my stroke? Is my path right? Is my face in the right position at impact? All related to start line and all related to technique. Now, what John did with Justin is give him a few simple techniques that didn't rely on technical thought, but rather feel. Now, why feel? Because pace dictates your line, and even if you've got perfect start line, which a lot of these guys have, if your pace is wrong, you might hit the ball too far, too short, and you're also going to struggle on your lines. So there's a couple of little drills that John Graham and Justin have done to help him with that, and it's also something that he's used with Jordan Spieth that's helped his putting. Now, the first thing that they sort of talked about was more psychological, so in relation to the hole. Now, most people when they practice the putting, they are just looking at the hole, hitting it at the hole and hoping it goes in. So hit that one too soft. Right, so let's hit it a little bit harder. Oh, missed, not a good putt. Let's hit another one. So try and play a bit more break. And all we're doing is measuring success by if it went in the hole or not. Now, yes, obviously that's a great way of measuring success for putting, but sometimes it negates pace, because sometimes we can hit the ball 3 different paces and they all go in the hole. So then if our line isn't correct and we take away the hole and we start missing them, we're going to miss them by wide margins, which in terms of pace. So all of a sudden, if you miss a putt and you miss it and you knock it 3 foot past and then you miss the 3-footer, you got 3 putt, adds 1 shot to score. So what John and Graham have talked about and started doing is, instead of thinking about the hole and the line, think about where you want the ball to actually finish. So I've got one of these fake holes here. I'm going to place it just about here. So instead of thinking about I want the ball to go in the hole, I'm now going to think about where I want the ball to finish and just let the hole get in the way. It's something that he's used with Jordan Spieth that's helped his putting, along with Justin Thomas. So for this one, I'm going to try and obviously get it through the white fake hole, but I'm going to try and make my ball stop just after the hole, about 2 foot beyond it. And that's how I'm going to measure success here. And this is a great way to warm up, because it takes your mind out of it being so focused on the hole. So, okay, let's have a look. So I go. So that ball would have gone in a normal hole, I would have been happy. But actually, that's not achieved my aim, because it's only gone a couple of inches past the hole. So in terms of actually what I was trying to do there, that wasn't a good putt. So again, let's try it. So I'm going to go about 2 foot beyond the hole. Line was good, I'd have made the putt, but again, that's only probably 10 inches past the hole. I didn't achieve my aim. Now what this does is it really gets you thinking from a psychological perspective and an athletic perspective of where we want the ball to actually go. And this is going to really impact your feel and your touch and your pace control. So let's try again. So 2 foot beyond. So there, I've got the pace correct. That's exactly where I wanted the ball to finish. Didn't quite get the line, but it's a start. So then when you go out on the course, you can start visualizing, okay, where do I want that ball to finish? And where this is really, really good is when we start playing on slopey greens, because all of a sudden, if we've got a downhill fast putt, we're not just thinking about the hole and knocking it in the hole. We start to think, where do we want this ball to finish? Obviously we want the hole to get in the way, but if we then miss the putt and we think, okay, I want this to finish, where am I looking where the ball is going to finish, and I'm visualizing that in my mind, we can say, okay, I want this to finish 6 inches past the hole. So that's what we're focused on, rather than thinking about just getting in the hole. And then that can maybe stop those times where you hit like a putt on a downhill fast green and you hit it maybe sometimes 5-6 foot past, you miss the putt, and all of a sudden you got three or four putts on the card and you're making a big score. So it's just a bit of a different psychological way of thinking about putting, thinking that the hole gets in the way. These fake holes, I mean, you could go out and buy one, or you could probably make one yourself. Are a great way of doing that, because the ball can run over and you can see your pace. The other way is just putting a tee peg down or even a coin. Justin Thomas did that in the Masters. You may find videos of that where he just put a coin down, and that's the next drill really that we're going to explain. Ideally, we'd have fake holes or, like I say, a tee peg, but there's another thing that you can do with like a coin. And what you were seeing, that you might have seen it on YouTube or the Masters, Andy was with his coach John Graham, sorry. And what they were doing is they was putting a coin down. So they'd pop a coin down, and then they'd put to the coin, and then he'd try and put a little bit further than the coin, and then they'd move the coin, and then he'd try and put to the coin, put further to the coin. Now you're obviously, a lot of you haven't got a coach at hand to warm up every time you play, so we can't really be doing that. It's a pain to keep putting the coin down, but what we can do is play a little ladder drill. It's not exactly the same, but what we can do is I'm going to hit this putt, and now from here what I want to do is hit this next putt about 6 inches past. So in the Masters, what his coach John Graham would do is put a coin there, pick it up, and then he'd have to get 6 inches past the coin. Obviously, we've not got that luxury of having a world-class putting coach on our practice warm-ups for our monthly medal. So instead, I'm just going to move the ball a little bit further to the right, so I'm not going to hit it. So all I'm going to try and do now is just hit this 6 inches past. Did I do it? I hit the ball, it probably wasn't pacey enough, so that's a fail. So let's try and do it again. So 6 inches past. Can I do it? Yeah, maybe about 8 inches past. So it was close, and then what I'm going to do with this next ball is try and hit that 8 inches past that one. Did I do it? Yes. So what that's doing is it's really dialing in your feel for how quick the greens are, how slow the greens are. And we can also obviously do our normal sort of gate drill. So you see Justin Thomas a lot of the time doing a gate drill where he's got a string line and a eye-line putting mirror, and then he puts a couple of tee pegs in front of the ball just to get his start line correct. If you've got that right, then we need to move on and be more athletic like he's doing, and just trying to get the pace and the feel, because then we've got start line, we've got pace in the field, we've got a really good chance of making some putts. And that's what we've seen recently at the PGA Championship. He came behind, won the playoff, and he's now back to where he was and where he should be. So try those little drills, just being aware of pace, and hopefully that's going to help you game, help you put in and play better scores.